There's been an issue of shipping. The shipping containers were in the wrong place after all economies shut down, and then there was this huge surge in demand. And that's led into some really, really difficult issues around shipping that are taking a long time to unwind and unravel. Shipping issue is right at the top of the agenda. It's causing an awful lot of concern, and is the most business critical issue for most manufacturers. Not all, but many. And companies are investing a hell of a lot of management time trying to find the workarounds, trying to consult with their customers about the way forward, and keep a good line of communication going. So that's the top issue, but I think that's pretty short term. The market will settle, hopefully sooner rather than later, but I can't see this becoming a long-term kind of structural issue for the industry. When you're working in a trade association, you're very, very careful about any discussion on prices, because it's something that the competition authorities are very sensitive about. So when we get together as a group of manufacturers, we are very clear never to talk about prices. But obviously, I hear about what's going on in the marketplace, and particularly on the cost side. And just to put into context, really, that shipping experience, the cost of a shipping container has risen from around £1,500 that it's been, roughly for about a year. In November, upwards of £10,000 to £15,000 to ship a box from the Far East. That is an enormous spike, and it's not kind of retrenching at the moment. It seems to be holding up at the moment. The reason for that is that the North European routes aren't as attractive to the shipping companies as the Trans-Pacific routes. So they price the shipments in order to make it more competitive for them. That's an enormous additional cost that manufacturers are having to soak up. And put simply, in some cases, we're talking about the eradication of margins, and no one's in the business of making products and supplying to the market at a huge loss. There is going to be some cost pass-through, without a doubt, if this continues for much longer. And indeed, there's some murmurings in the marketplace that those cost increases and surcharges are being introduced already. So the shipping lines have made record profits in the course of the last few months. So you do wonder where the incentive financial imperative for them lies in sorting out this issue. So there have been some accusations of profiteering flying about, particularly aimed at shipping companies. And indeed, the Chinese government announced last week they were taking some antitrust action against some of the shipping companies. So our final kind of annual sales were 13% down on 2019 at the end of the year, which doesn't sound great, but when you consider sales were only 15% at their ordinary level in April and May, that's an outstanding recovery. Where we go from here, I think, is building back better. Construction bounced back stronger than most parts of the economy. And we've still got a lot of economic rebuilding to do as a country. And I think construction probably has been seen by policymakers as a driver of that recovery. And as a supplier into the industry, obviously that presents us with an opportunity.